Learning a new language, like English, can be an exciting yet challenging journey. But every day is an opportunity to improve. Today, we follow Alex, a student who's on a mission to master English. Let's dive into his daily routine and discover some effective strategies for learning this global language. Today, I woke up early. I know that to improve my English, I need to start my day with some reading practice. I grabbed my English book and read for 20 minutes. It's not too long, but it helps me ease into the language. This morning, I read a short story. The key is to choose something interesting that keeps me hooked. I made sure to underline any new words I didn't know. I also wrote down their meanings in my notebook. Repetition is important, so I'll review these words later. Next, I moved on to listening practice. I know how important it is to understand native speakers, so I listen to a podcast every morning. I like listening to short episodes of an English language learning podcast. It's great because I can listen while having breakfast or even walking around. I focus on the tone of voice and the way words are pronounced. This helps me with my speaking skills too. I always try to speak English as much as I can during the day. So, after listening to the podcast, I decided to practice speaking. I found a language exchange partner online, someone who is learning my native language. We talk for 30 minutes every day. I correct each other's mistakes, and it's a fun way to improve. Speaking regularly is a game changer because it boosts my confidence. In the afternoon, I spend some time writing. I usually write a journal entry in English. Today, I wrote about my plans for the weekend. I used the new vocabulary I learned this morning. Writing is really important because it helps me solidify what I've learned and express my thoughts more clearly. I also check my grammar and try to write in different sentence structures. Sometimes, I ask my teacher to review my writing, which is so helpful. Every day, Alex incorporates simple but effective strategies into his routine. By reading, listening, speaking, writing, and reviewing, he is building a strong foundation in English. The key is consistency and finding activities that keep you engaged. Whether it's through podcasts, TV shows, or talking with others, every little effort adds up. So, what are you waiting for? Start your own journey today, and let English become a part of your daily life. Learning English can feel like a long journey, but with consistent effort and the right strategies, anyone can make significant progress. In today's video, we follow Alex, a student who is determined to master English. Let's take a closer look at his daily routine and see the strategies that help him improve his English skills every day. Alex begins his day early, knowing that the morning is the perfect time to dive into some reading. He believes that starting the day with English helps him engage with the language while his mind is fresh. Today, he picks up his English book, a collection of short stories, and begins reading for about 20 minutes. He doesn't pressure himself to read too much at once, as he knows that consistency is key. As he reads, Alex underlines new words he doesn't know and jots down their meanings in a small notebook. This simple practice helps him expand his vocabulary daily. Repetition is crucial, so he makes it a habit to review these words later in the day. He doesn't just stop at understanding their meaning, he tries to use these words in his own sentences, which helps him remember them better. After breakfast, Alex moves on to his listening practice. He knows that understanding native speakers is a critical part of mastering any language, so he listens to a podcast designed for English learners. The podcast is short, typically 10 to 15 minutes long, making it easy to fit into his morning routine. As he listens, Alex focuses on the tone of the speakers, their pronunciation, and how they use intonation to express meaning. He finds that listening to these podcasts helps him become more familiar with the natural rhythm of the language. Sometimes, he replays parts of the podcast where he didn't understand the words and looks them up online. The key, he's learned, is to listen regularly and not be afraid to pause and replay segments to catch every word. Once Alex feels ready for the next step, he practices speaking English. He understands that speaking is one of the most important skills to develop when learning a new language. So, he regularly meets with a language exchange partner, a person learning his native language. They take turns speaking in their target languages for 30 minutes each day. This has been one of Alex's most effective learning methods. During these conversations, they help each other correct mistakes, and Alex gets a chance to practice his English in real time. It's a fun and low-pressure way to build confidence, and the feedback he gets helps him improve his pronunciation and grammar. Through these daily conversations, Alex feels like his speaking ability is improving bit by bit. In the afternoon, Alex shifts to writing practice. Writing is an essential skill for reinforcing what he's learned during the day. He opens his journal and starts writing about his plans for the weekend. He challenges himself to use the new vocabulary he's picked up that morning. By writing regularly, Alex has found that it helps him structure his thoughts more clearly and develop his ability to form sentences correctly. He also takes the time to review his grammar, making sure that his writing follows the correct rules. Sometimes, he asks his teacher to review his work, and this feedback has been invaluable in helping him understand where he needs to improve. In the evening, Alex unwinds by watching an episode of his favorite TV show in English. But instead of watching with subtitles in his native language, he switches them to English subtitles. This allows him to connect what he hears to what he reads on the screen. Alex enjoys watching shows in English because it helps him understand the language used in everyday situations. He pays attention to the informal expressions, slang, and idioms that native speakers use in daily conversations. If he doesn't understand something, he pauses the show and looks it up online. This not only improves his listening skills, but also helps him learn the cultural context behind certain phrases. Before going to bed, Alex spends 10 minutes reviewing what he's learned throughout the day. He flips through his vocabulary notebook, repeating new words aloud. He also practices speaking them in sentences to make sure he can use them in context. This short review session helps him retain the information and makes it easier to recall the next time he encounters these words. Reflecting on his progress also motivates him to keep going. He knows that learning English is a gradual process, and that's what keeps him going every day. Through his daily routine, Alex demonstrates how integrating English learning into various activities can lead to gradual improvement. He doesn't just study the language, he lives it through reading, listening, speaking, writing, and reviewing. By making small efforts every day, he is steadily building a strong foundation. Alex's journey is proof that consistency is the key to mastering any language. If you're on a similar journey, remember that the best way to learn English or any language is to make it a part of your daily life. Whether it's reading a book, listening to podcasts, speaking with others, or watching TV shows, the more exposure you get to the language, the faster you'll improve. Keep practicing, and soon you'll see the progress you've been working toward. This story showcases a realistic daily routine that can inspire viewers to incorporate similar strategies into their own language learning journey. It emphasizes practical activities reading, listening, speaking, writing, and reviewing that can help students improve their English in enjoyable and effective ways.